Well, welcome to Connect, the weekly podcast for the California MBA, featuring one-on-one interviews with movers and shakers in the mortgage industry. I'm Susan Milazzo, CEO for the California MBA, and I'm very happy that you could join us today. Our guests today continue our series on legacy in the mortgage industry, so talking about multi-generations within the mortgage business. But before we get to today's guests, I would like to thank our Connect podcast sponsor, Incelerate. Incelerate helps lenders close more loans through better borrower engagement, the mortgage industry's most innovative customer experience platform, which delivers lead management, sales enablement, engagement, a robust mortgage-specific content library, and data intelligence, all in one comprehensive and highly scalable platform. Incelerate delivers dynamic technology, strategy, and content for every channel of your business to ensure engagement throughout the customer journey, whether it be your borrowers, referral partners, or any other party to the loan transaction. This dynamic enterprise solution seamlessly fits into your tech stack due to their advanced API connectivity, modern design, and open architecture. Gone are the days of managing multiple and separate systems and having your data trapped in data silos. This innovative platform allows you to provide your internal and external customers timely, relevant information based on data intelligence to build repeatable outcomes at each stage of the customer's journey. Close more loans, improve borrower conversions, enhance customer retention, transform your customer acquisition lifecycle, and create customers for life. For more information, visit incelerate.com. So that brings us to today's guests. I'd like to welcome Mike Fontaine, Co-President and Chief Operating Officer at Plaza Home Mortgage, and Ryan Fontaine, who's the Digital Marketing Manager. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, Susan.
Mike and I have known each other for a long time, and Ryan and I just met last year, so it'll be a good conversation today. Again, kind of continuing our conversation about legacy in the mortgage industry. I'm just intrigued by that. We've had, I know so many people that are my peers that are bringing their kids into the business. So Ryan, I'm guessing that how you came into the mortgage industry, but what about you, Mike? I know that you've made something of a mid-career change, and you and I have talked about this a little bit in the past. So how did you get started in the mortgage industry?
Yeah, so I had been running a distribution company actually, and we just sold it and sold it to we were an independent company, small, kind of like how Plaza is, a privately run company, and we sold it to a large organization, big film company, and decided that I didn't really want to stay on after I had to stay on for a little while as part of the transition, but had an opportunity through actually Kevin Parr, who's the CEO and one of the founders of Plaza, had met my brother over in Hawaii, because my niece and Kevin's daughter were in the same kindergarten class together at the time. And anyway, they started talking, and my brother had indicated that I was going to start looking for something. Kevin had indicated that he was looking for a CFO at the time. So we started talking after that, and had an opportunity to get back into the business. And I had a little taste of the mortgage industry as a correspondent lender back in the early 90s, and always liked the space and liked the real estate finance industry. So that's how it all came together about 18 years ago now. So it's a great opportunity for everyone.
Yeah, that's interesting. Everybody has their own little twist on how they came to the mortgage industry, because nobody planned on it, right? But Mike, you've been at Plaza now, so for most of Ryan's life. So Ryan, when you came to Plaza, was it what you expected?
It was pretty much this. I had been around it most of my life. I'd met a lot of the people already, a lot of the executives just at dinners, around town, just doing things and going and visiting the office. So I'd been there before, but it's pretty much what I imagined. It's been a wild ride, because I started in high school and now I'm working in marketing full time, and it went from temporary summer gigs to a whole career. But the whole time it's been interesting working with my dad. It's been a lot easier than I thought it would be. I never knew if he'd just yell at me all day or be nice, but it's been great. So we actually feel really well when it's working, and we can separate our work-life balance pretty well, and it's a nice connection there.
I think I think that separation is really important. So you're kind of, leading into my next question. So Mike started out as CFO and Chief Operating Officer. Now you're Co-President, Chief Operating Officer. Ryan, you started in summer kind of internships and now kind of, after school, after college, working in IT before moving into marketing. So can you both kind of talk about those transitions within the company into new roles?
Sure. So, I was CFO for a long time. Then I moved over to CFO and COO, and then eventually ended up hiring somebody to take over the CFO position, Michelle Richardson, and groomed her into that spot for a little while, and then finally turned that over. So, and I've been the co-president and COO since about a year ago now, a little over a year ago now. So that part of the transition on that is kind of interesting because having been in the finance side my entire career, it's letting go of some of that is a little challenging at times because you want to have your hand on the pulse always on it. So it's been fun. It's been fun to be able to spend more time and more focus on helping grow the business on other areas outside of just the finance part, and be able to dig deeper into some of the operational and sales roles and stuff in the company. So it's been a lot of fun growing in that area, and it's been a good transition, I think. So,
Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, so I started in summers when I just needed something to do, so I wasn't causing too much trouble, and I was just doing final docs, entering, doing all sorts of random tasks. But then I graduated with a degree in environmental studies and naturally progressed right into marketing. So it's been a fun journey. I kind of came in entry level and had a knack for it, and I've always been interested in just design and that side of the business. I've always been curious, and once I kind of got my foot in the door with it, I've kind of found a knack for it, and I've been having a lot of fun since then.
That's good. That's good. So talk about the industry outlook a little bit. We're coming off of 2 very big years for origination. So Mike, what's your outlook for 22, and how's Plaza, competing in this smaller, more competitive purchase market?
Yeah, so it definitely is shifting over to the purchase market rather rapidly with the rate increases recently that we've seen. Really, the refi side is dropping probably even a little faster than predicted, but it positions us well. We've always been a very purchase-focused and purchase-oriented lender. We're all in the third-party space and our wholesale as well as our correspondent business there. We really focus though on being the solution provider and compete in that area and are known for our knowledge and our ability to get the borrowers and through the brokers we work with with the right loan product to suit the consumer. So it works well because it's not just all about price. It's about making sure that you can get somebody into the loan that they need and they should have. And so we've kind of been able to capitalize on our strengths with that. As we look at this year though, we're adding new products, expanding more into the non-QM space, but at the same time we're also having to really look at cost and process improvement and automation and trying to streamline the process. So a lot of stuff going on. We're making a lot of investments in technology and process improvement to allow us to compete and lower our cost to produce, which is important in this environment. So it's really a challenge. I think it's going to be a challenging market for everybody, but we're looking forward to being able to compete and to excel in this environment.
That's great. So Ryan, from a marketing standpoint, what can you share about the importance of digital marketing to drive business this year?
In terms of digital marketing, I really think it's critical. I look at my mailbox physically every few days. I look at my email every few seconds pretty much. So everything I do is digital. It's how you can get instant connections with people. It's You can see, like on my side, when you're doing your marketing campaigns, you can see open rates, clicks, who's interacting. You can see which one of your clients are truly engaging with your content and what content they're engaging with versus just kind of mailers or feelers and sending out flyers that you don't really know if it's working or not. Now you can get a lot more reporting back. In terms of like the social side of marketing, a lot of people just like that personal connection with each other. They just are able to just know each other on a more personal level. Even through COVID, when everyone's been remote, you can kind of see what workplace culture is. You can still see what people are doing. You can still connect with your clients and all the people that you're working with, whether it's coworkers that moved or anything. It's just, in terms of digital, it's just everything is moving that direction. So it's something that a lot of people just really need to dial in. And I think it's going to be a big part of the year.
Yeah, agreed. One of the, attracting kind of that next generation of leaders is, a big challenge for the industry. Our organization, California MBA, the National MBA, we're always trying to, find ways that we can provide resources to our members to help them attract the next generation of leaders. But Mike, what does Plaza do to attract young talent to the mortgage industry?
So we do several different things. I think it's using some of the social media that Ryan was talking about is a part of it, just to get our name out there a little bit more in the industry, as well as to potential applicants, to new associates coming to the company. We use market, or from a recruiting standpoint, we use the digital arena in that area as well. But one of the things that we've always done is we've given opportunities for summer interns, and people come in, they're in college typically looking for a few months worth of work. They get different roles in the organization. A lot of them have turned into full-time associates afterwards. And they're also our best recruiters because they bring their friends along, and they mention what a great opportunity is to work at Plaza, and they're able to help us bring people in. We also do work at college fairs and stuff occasionally, and then once they get here, we also provide a lot of training opportunities. We have a really robust training library with everything from mortgage classes, mortgage 101 type classes, to just general business classes, how to use Outlook better and Excel, etc., something like that. And then we also have a leadership program to help those that have been here for a little while to grow into leadership roles, and a mentorship program as well. So lots of different areas that we really focus on to try to keep people and retain them, as well as get them in the door. I think it's a very strong program we have.
Yeah, it sounds very robust, actually. Good for you guys. Ryan, from your perspective, what do you think the industry would need to do to attract more people in your age group to the industry?
Just to tail off what my dad said, that's what a lot of it is people my age, they want a place where they can learn. Like I didn't plan to go into marketing, but I kind of fell into the role, but I learned everything on the job, and it was a nice way to just be able to get trained and get paid at the same time, and be able to learn and develop your career. And a lot of people, they just want room for growth, so they don't want to just go into a job that they're just going to be static at for years, and that's just that. They come in, they're just, who knows how long I'm here. If you have room for growth, you have opportunities, you have training, you have leadership mentor programs. That's what we as a generation are looking for, as well as just a company that cares. We want people that a company that cares about their employees. Like, are they happy? Like, we do associate engagement surveys. They check in on everyone, like, how's it going? Like, we want to know, and the management actually cares. That's a big part of it. And then, as well as just charity, giving back. That's what our generation is also about. We like helping people, and through Plaza, I know a lot of big Susan G. Komen things. A lot of people I know are big fans of that. We have employees here that have joined pretty much because of that, and all the other charities we've done this year, Navy SEALs, and then the Sean Bonney things. It's just the amount of charity that goes out is a big part of it, and I think that's just what our millennials are looking for.
Yeah, provide that opportunity for growth and support, and how you can, you can learn and then also be contributing back to your community. I think that's really good advice. I think that's probably what a lot of companies should be looking at. So Mike, you are, of course, on my board of directors. You've been chair, you've been run the Western Secondary Market Conference, you've been really active with us, very frontline when it comes to kind of the cornerstone of our association, which is advocacy. So can you share with our listeners kind of the importance of lenders supporting what the advocacy work of the California MBA?
Yeah, I think that's really one of the critical missions of the California MBA, and also really important for our industry. We have to make sure that the government officials, as well as the agency leaders out there, understand that we care and that we want to provide good lending products, safe lending products to the consumer, and that's our goal. Our goal is to make sure that we are out there lending to the right people and the right amount of debt to them. Otherwise, it ends up in a disaster. We had the crisis back in 07, 08. And there was a lot of people that ended up with foreclosures and stuff. And I think there's a perception that lenders like foreclosures. There's absolutely 100% the opposite. Nobody wants to go down that path, but it does happen occasionally. But our goal is to make sure that we're providing safe products. Compliance is critical. We want to make sure that they're understanding, if they're putting rules in place, that they're rules that make sense, that they don't restrict lending. And sometimes what might be a well-intended law that gets proposed, or bill that gets proposed, it is going to have detrimental effects to the industry and to the consumer and the homeowner. So our job as part of the California MBA board, as well as a leader in the industry, is really to help explain that, like, why this is not a good move. And we've been very active in that. And with your leadership, we've been able to make sure that they're hearing our message and hearing the right things. As far as the other parts of being involved in the California MBA, the other two pillars, I guess, are the education and then the connection. And I think the connection piece, by being able to go to the conferences, is really important, and be able to connect and interact with our peers is a major function, I think, of the organization, and the opportunities that are provided there. And then on the education side, all the conferences, like you said, I ran the Western Secondary Conference a couple of times. That's it's a lot of fun to go there and to be able to share the knowledge with people, and to share what's going on in the industry. And I think those are really important functions, and I think people need to get involved. It's it's your career, it's your paycheck. So get involved in your industry and be a part of it. And I think it's really a way for I guess some ways we're giving back, but also you're protecting your job at the same time. So those are areas that I think it's great to be involved in the California MBA and the National MBA and other MBA associations around the country.
Yeah, thank you. And you're right. We are only as strong as our members that provide us all of the information and the support to do all the advocacy work we do. And thank you to you and Plaza for being so supportive for so many years through some very critical legislative years that we've had here too. And thank you both for joining us. I really had a great conversation with you, and I appreciate you being guests on our podcast. And thank all of you for joining us today. To access any of our Connect podcast episodes, you can follow us on our YouTube channel. We're also available on SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. We'll be back next week with another episode of Connect. We'll see you next time.